color code of Blue City. The docs define a semantic color key. Blue equals structural operational logic. Green equals governance boundary. Gold equals legitimacy. Authority seal. Earth equals developer infrastructure. Red equals temporary governance stress. Green highlight equals temporary intake visibility during testing. So the city's actual design language becomes blue avenues for operations, green domes for oversight, gold crowns for ratification, earth toned yards for maintenance, red alarms only for stress or review. And crucially, color is never enough by itself. The whole city also uses labels, icons, and clear shapes. That makes Blue City not just pretty, but principled. Welcome to PSDS Blue City, a cartoon tour of the real PSDS facility. Hi, I'm Mayor Jeremy. Welcome to PSDS land. Today we are taking my giant, overpowered, many-layered system and turning it into a living city you can walk through. Jeremy extends his hand to the viewer and says, "Climb aboard the balloon with me." The crowd cheers. A brass band of little service robots plays. A balloon tram lowers from the clouds. We climb in, and up we go. Below us, the whole system spreads out like a giant civic mechanical wonder. Part factory, part city, part courthouse, part library, part lab. And that is actually faithful to the README. Because PSDS is defined as a civic infrastructure system with a canonical civic vault and an implementation layer. The vault holds governance and constitutional authority. The implementation executes under that authority. First view from the sky, the two halves of the city from above. Blue City is split into two great districts. On one side is the canonical civic vault. It looks like a shining old city center. Archives, halls, courts, memory towers, public squares, and official records offices. This is where truth is kept in human-facing form. It is the authority side. On the other side is the implementation layer. That part looks more like a futuristic industrial district. Conveyors, glowing terminals, API stations, machine rooms, UI screens, runtime tunnels, test tracks. This is where the system actually runs. It executes, but only under the authority of the vault. Mayor Mam Dam ME points dramatically with a giant foam finger. Remember this, tourists. In PSDS City, the city charter is not the same thing as the machines. The machines work for the charter, not the other way around. District 1, the canonical civic vault. This is the oldest and most important district. It is where meaning lives. The README says PSDS is the human-facing and governance-facing meaning system. It defines what a record is, what stage it is in, what authority it carries, and what it means. That means this whole district is less like a factory and more like a civilization's memory, law, and public trust system. Buildings in this district. The Hall of Problem Cards, a giant marble records office with endless drawers and floating blue folders. Every new issue need question. Or civic challenge begins here as a problem card. This is the front door of the city's thinking. The system overview places problem cards inside the intake layer along with data ingestion and draft capture. The governance archive tall gold and green vault towers, full of legitimacy papers, bundle verification ledgers, and public trust receipts. This district corresponds to the governance layer, which includes version governance artifacts, ledger append discipline, authority bundle verification, and public trust validation. The Civic Memory Library, this is one of my favorite buildings. It has 5 big wings labeled README.MD system _ state.md session -- sync.md create ps. These are explicitly named in the canonical docs as the files that anchor system continuity. In Blue City, this means the libraries is how the city remembers itself between storms, rebuilds, and new mayors. The mayor leans toward us and whispers, District 2, the intake factory. Now the balloon tram descends into the factory district, where fresh ideas arrive in carts, voice notes, forms, sketches, messy notes, and raw civic dilemmas. This is the intake layer: problem cards, data ingestion, and draft capture. Here's how I see it in city form. 1. The ingester docks a huge loading bay with conveyor belts and scanner arms. This is where people bring in new material. The ingester is one of the explicitly named PSDS side artifacts in the robotics report. Alongside problem cards, API, canonical, JSON, governance docs, and reboot files. In Blue City terms, the ingester docs are where citizens arrive with a problem, a clerk bot opens a file, the system starts a draft, the raw material is turned into a first civic record. 2. The draft capture room. This is full of blue clipboards and humming typewriter robots. The docs say drafts are part of intake and that the first lifecycle state is draft. In the UI system, draft has its own gate language and blue-toned accent. So in the cartoon city, every fresh card starts in a blue-lit room stamped DRAFT, editable by default, still becoming. 3. The JSON card press. Oh yes, this is the good part. You asked for the ingest, the Joan card, and everything, so here it is. I imagine the JSON card press as a giant industrial stamping machine. Raw civic input goes in one side as voice, notes, titles, summaries, statuses, timestamps, and fields. Out the other side comes a clean canonical record. That matches the robotics session report, which says a real problem card JSON became the adapter input and included stable card fields like ID, problem underscore ID, schema underscore version, title, summary, status, created underscore at, and updated underscore at. So the JSON card press is the machine that turns human mess into structured civic memory, not fake neatness. Structured truth. District 3. Core lens evaluation works past the intake factory is the judging and thinking quarter. A big blue analytical complex full of rotating lenses, suspended scoreboards, and debate chambers. The system overview says the evaluation layer includes core lens schema evaluation, structured scoring, and multi-solution comparison. So in Blue City, this district becomes the core lens tower, a tall observatory with giant rotating glass lenses pointing in different directions. Inside, teams study a problem card from many angles. Not just, is it efficient, but what does it mean? Who benefits? Who gets erased? What are the risks? What authority does this have? And does this remain explainable? The Score Foundry, a factory where numbers are made but not worshipped. The docs are careful here. Numbers are ordered principles, not automatic priority rankings, unless explicitly stated. So I picture this as a place where scoresmiths forge visible, explainable assessments. Every score comes with a paper trail and plain language explanation, not just a mysterious glowing number. The comparison boulevard. This is where multiple solution vehicles drive side by side under evaluation arches. People watch from balconies as alternatives are tested against the same problem. This comes straight from the multi-solution comparison part of the evaluation layer. The Great Gate system, as we pass from one building to another, we notice every panel, terminal, and office door has giant labels and icons. That is because the README says PSDS uses two visual axes: status gate, draft, active, published, archived workflow phase, overlay, intake, evaluation/governance. So Blue City makes them literal. The 4 city gates: draft gate, blue, humming, editable, still forming; active gate, green, busy, in progress; published gate, gold, sealed, ratified; archived gate, earth-toned, quiet, preserved with integrity. Every building corner also has badge lights for seal integrity, seal governance watchdog, propaganda watchdog, oversight. So in the cartoon city, these become little officer characters: inspector integrity, governor seal, propaganda watchdog, oversight hound. and the docs insist they must always be shown with text and icons, not just color. Accessibility first. No silent drift. No color-only meaning. That is actually a beautiful city rule. District 4. Governance Hill. Now we ride uphill into the green and gold district, where things stop being merely proposed and start being reviewed for legitimacy. The README divides authority into layers and says no layer may silently override another. Core A is the constitutional WA. Core B is the operational how. Governance is the oversight and seal layer. And developer infrastructure is maintenance only. So Blue City turns that into 4 major civic institutions. Core A, the Constitution House, a serene white and gold building with inscriptions carved into the walls. This is where identity, legitimacy, constraints, ethical boundaries, preservation of dissent, accessibility requirements, anti-propaganda safeguards, and transparency principles live. The docs say Core A does not execute runtime logic, score solutions, or apply seals. If Core A collapses, legitimacy collapses. In city language, this is the soul of the place. Core B, the Operations Bureau, a large blue planning office with timeline rails and lifecycle maps. Core B defines the problem card lifecycle, core lens evaluation engine, schema validation, dimension scoring, explainability artifacts, and revision loop. It produces recommendations only and does not apply governance seals or invisibly rewrite artifacts. This is the bureau that says, here's how the city thinks through a problem. Governance boundary, the seal court, a green and gold hilltop complex with gates, clerks, and public counters. This is where submission gate validation, integrity review, seal assignment, archival validation, and public trust accountability happen. Governance overlays results. It does not generate them. In the cartoon version, a giant seal press comes down with a satisfying "Coney" after the right reviews happen. The public accountability balcony citizens can watch the process. Because the whole point is that the city must be intelligible and auditable, not a secret wizard castle. That idea is reinforced in the docs, where the canonical derived boundary is said to keep the system intelligible, auditable, and ethically coherent. District 5. Runtime Interface Station. Now we move to the more mechanical part of town. The system overview names a runtime interface layer with a PI endpoints. System, status, system, authority, and deterministic startup validation. In Blue City, this becomes a central train terminal where information travels between the living city and the machine district. Key buildings, API Central, a sleek station with windows full of requests and replies. Status Tower, a large public display screen labeled System Status, showing whether the city is operational. The docs also call out runtime verification at GET System Status. Authority Terminal, a station office labeled System Authority, where machine processes check whether they are allowed to proceed. This whole district is how the city exposes itself in a way software can use without turning software into king. Beyond the river, Robotics Harbor, Mayor Mamdam 8 gets very excited here. Folks, this is where PSDS starts reaching into the world. The revised docs and robotics report are very clear. PSDS is the meaning system. Robotics is the action system. PSDS says what something means. Robotics says what to do with it. PSDS remains canonical. Robotics remains derived. So in Blue City, Robotics Harbor is across a river from the Civic Vault. They are connected by a heavily guarded bridge. The bridge itself, canonical problem card gives adapter script, gives derived rhetoric hacker, gives various evaluator node, gives PSDS underscore status topic output. That means in the city. The problem card embassy, this is the last PSDS side building before the bridge. It sends officially structured meaning outward. The adapter bridge, a supervised translation bridge. The robotics report says the adapter was intentionally separate, so robotics would not consume canonical problem cards directly. That is hugely important. In city terms, it means the bridge has customs control. The robot district is not allowed to just run into the archive and grab laws off the shelves. The Ross Action Record Mill, A mechanical conversion building producing machine-facing action records, like Ross_action_JSON. The report says this derived record contains values like action_type, goal, confidence, risk_score, safety_state, and execution_state while preserving traceability back to the canonical card, the evaluator node beacon. A signal tower that reads the derived action record and publishes machine runtime status over PSDS_status. This is where the city starts talking to robots, drones, simulations, and all the future companion systems you were dreaming about, but it does so under meaning, not instead of meaning. That is the ethical victory of the bridge. District 6. Developer Infrastructure Yard at the edge of town is a practical district full of cranes, scaffolds, scripts, terminals, and repair sheds. The docs name this as developer infrastructure, including PSDS_reboot MD create PSDS, PS1, scripts, UI, API runtime, and PyOaks. It initializes, maintains, and verifies structure, but has no constitutional authority and no seal authority. So in Blue City, this district is like public works, maintenance crews, electricians, patch teams, scaffold, builders. Very important, very useful. But not kings. The mayor says these folks can repair the pipes. They do not get to rewrite the Constitution. The citizens of the city, to make it feel alive, here are the people in charge. I see running it. Mayor Man Damn Me, ceremonial host, dream translator, public tour guide, chief archivist Canon, guardian of the civic vault, foreman ingest, runs the intake factory and the JSON card press, director, Core Lens manages the lens tower and score foundry, judge governance seal, presides over seal court, station master API runs runtime interface station, bridgekeeper derived guards the adapter bridge to robotics, inspector integrity and oversight hound, roaming badge officers. The reboot crew maintains continuity when the city is tired, damaged, or waking from chaos. End of the tour, the balloon tram circles once more over the whole place. Below us we can see the ingester docks, the JSON card, press the problem card, haul the core lens, tower, the seal court, the runtime station, the adapter bridge, the robotics harbor, the civic memory library. If you have listened this far, thank you for listening to my dream. Ladies and gentlemen, children and robots, people of the world with problems, this is PSDS Blue City, where meaning has buildings, authority has gates, and even the machines have to check in at the front desk.
What the city is really saying under the cartoon, the ReadMe's actual architecture is very strong. PSDS is not just an app or a set of scripts. It is a civilization model with intake, evaluation, governance, runtime interfaces, and explicit authority boundaries. It starts as a factory because it must process input. It becomes a city because it must preserve meaning, legitimacy, memory, oversight, and public trust. And it reaches toward robotics only through a derived bridge, never by letting machines silently seize the meaning layer. That is why Blue City actually fits. It is not fluff. It is a readable metaphor for the real structure.